Welcome everyone. Today we will continue with the lesson adaptation in animals for class 7. So let's study a lesson. So student, in our previous video we have seen the adaptation in plants. So today we will see the adaptation in animals. So let's see. So the question is, what differences do you see between terrestrial and aquatic animal? Now terrestrial means the animals which are living on the land, and aquatic the animal which are living in water, of course. So let's see. As compared to the terrestrial animal, the skin and body shape of aquatic animals like the fishes appear to have undergone changes. They are living in the water, and fishes have scales on the skin and fins on the body. So this is a picture, this is a diagram of a fish, and you can observe the gills which they are using for the breathing, and fins, scales on the body, and a tail. So their body tapers toward both its end like a spindle, and fish breathe with gills instead of a nose. So we human being breathe with the nose, but the fishes breathe with the gills. And their eyes have transparent eyelids. They have air bladders within the body to help them to float. So student, you can observe in third picture a swim bladder. So it is also known as a air bladder. And this air bladder contains a gas, usually oxygen gas, and enables fishes to maintain its depth without floating upward or sinking into water. So this was about the fishes. Now as the frog and duck have webbed toes, they can use their legs like oars. You can see in between in their legs, duck and frog, the web like structure, transparent web like structure is there. They can use their legs like oars. Now what is oars? The oars used to row or steer a boat through the water. Now water flows off the waxy feathers of birds like duck and water hen. So this is a water hen. And webbed toes, slippery smooth skin, and a triangular head help frogs to swim easily through the water, and they can live on land as well as in water. That's why they are called as amphibians. And due to their ability to breathe through the skin in water and using the nose and lungs on land, the typical colors of a frog's back help it to hide among the grasses. So if the frogs can hide into the grasses, we cannot able to see them properly. Now next we have is adaptation in forest and grassland animals. So student, the carnivores animals like the wild dog. Now carnivores means the animals which are feeding on the another animals. Okay. So the wild dog, fox, tiger and lion have strong legs to run fast and capture the prey. Now what is prey? The animal which are hunted by these carnivores just for the food. And they have claws, and their canine teeth are sharp and pointed. So you can observe the claws in the right hand side picture. Okay, so canine claws means their sharp nails, and canines means you can observe the four long teeth of a lion. So what is the function of these canines? So these canines are used just to hunt the another animal and eat the animals. Now student, tigers have padded paws. You can observe the alongside picture, they have the padded paws, and this enables them to silently stalk their prey and capture it very easily. And the eyes of predatory carnivores are located in front of their head. You can observe the tiger. So the eyes of their are located in front of their head, and it helps them to spot their prey from a long distance. Now student, here we have one term, that is a prey. So prey means the animal which is hunted, and what is a predator? The like tiger, fox, and lion. These are the predators. That means they are hunting the other animal and use them for the food. Now we will see the herbivores. Now herbivores means the animal which are feeding on the grasses, okay, or the plants. And the eyes of herbivores are below the forehead on either side of the head. So you can observe the picture of black bucks. So this is a black bucks. And next we have a deer. So these two are herbivores, and these give them wide angle vision which helps to protect them from the predators like lions, tigers, fox, etc. And their legs are long and tapering with strong hooves which enables them to run fast, taking long leaps. You can clearly see that the legs of these animals are very long, and their long and freely moving ears can receive sounds from long distances and different directions, so that they can easily protect them from the predator. And deer and black bucks have colors that merge with their surroundings. Their teeth are strong for chewing tough plant material. Now next is adaptation in desert animal. So desert are characterized by severe scarcity of water. That means there is no water or lack of water. Hence desert animals have a thick skin to prevent loss of water from the body. And their legs are long. With flat and cushioned sole. Now camels have cushioned sole. Why? So these cushioned feet stop them from sinking into the desert sand. And their nostrils are padded. So these are the cushioned soles, and the nostrils of the camels or desert animals are protected by the fold of skin, and the eyelashes are long and thick. Why this is so? Because the long eyelashes keep the sand out of their eyes, and nostril close shut during a dust storm in the desert. So they can leave desert easily. And the rats, snake and spider lizard in desert live in deep burrows during daytime and are active at night. Next we have the adaptation in animals of snowy region. So a white or silver body color, long thick hair on the skin are typical characteristic of the animals of snowy region. So here you can see the picture of white fox, snow leopard, and mountain goat, and Siberian husky dog. So these all are the animals which can easily live in a snowy region with their silver color, long thick hair on the skin. Okay. We have the adaptation in aerial animals. Now the spindle shaped body of birds also minimize the resistance of air while flying, and with hollow bones, a body covering of feathers, and modification of forelegs into wings. Now forelegs are modified into the wings or feathers, and their body is light in weight and adapted for flying. The body of insect also is light in weight and tapers at both ends, and they can fly with 2 pairs of wings and also walk with 6 stick-like legs. And the bat can fly with the help of a patagium, a thin fold of a skin between their forelegs and hind legs. Next we have is adaptation in reptiles. So the animals like house lizard, garden lizard, this is a garden lizard, and crocodile, snake use their muscles for the creeping. Similarly, they show adaptation in skin, soles of feet, body color, etc. For example, the house lizard and monitor lizard have clawed toes and thin sole, whereas the snake have a scaly skin. Next is adaptation for blending with the surrounding. So student, we cannot easily Spot colorful butterflies, lizard and grasshopper. They get camouflaged. They get camouflaged amidst grasses, parts of plants like stem, leaves, flowers, etc. And that is because their color blend with those of their surround. That means they can have the ability to change the color according to the surrounding environment. So the changes that take place in the various organs and life processes of organism that enable them to live, feed, reproduce, to perpetuate themselves and protect themselves from their enemies in specific surroundings depending upon the habitat and its geographical condition are called adaptation. So student, adaptation is not a sudden process. It is gradual and continuous. That means it is a slow process. And differences in the structure and appearance of present day animals and animals of thousands of years ago are adaptation that occurred according to prevailing condition. So it is our duty to conserve our diversity. We have one theory of Darwin's theory of evolution. So this theory has put forward by the Charles Darwin, scientist. So Charles Darwin, a biologist, studied numerous types of plants and animals and suggested that only those organisms are likely to survive which can best adapt themselves to a changing environment, and this is called the theory of survival of the fittest. And this is the first principle. That means the animal which can able to survive according to the environment, only they can live in the environment, and other can die. And next is, if an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristic and is enabled to survive, and this change is preserved in the next generation. This is Darwin's second principle and is called the theory of natural selection. That means the animal which can able to survive in the environment, that animals only are selected by the nature for the next generation. So student, these are the two theories of the Darwin of evolution. So this was all about the lesson, and next chapter we will continue in our next session. Thank you.